Hey, Wannabe Gamer here with another Top War Hero Spotlight. Today's hero was voted on by those in my Discord. If you'd like to vote on future Top War Hero Spotlights, make sure you visit my Discord, link in the description below. But today, Shrine Maiden Tsuru, because the T is silent, and in a world where Navy heroes carry bow and arrows, Air Force heroes carry halberds. Moving on to her description, we find out that her family is from the village hidden in the leaves, and they are the guardians of the Shinto shrine. Now, even as a little girl, she showed that she was smarter, stronger, and more inspiring than those around her, to the point where people thought she had supernatural abilities, and she gained the nickname Shrine Maiden. She managed to hold off the Dark Legion from her homeland for 3 months, and then the Freedom League came to help and drove off the invaders. Now, she did deny a invitation by the Freedom League to join because she insisted on staying at her hometown to guard it. Moving on to her exclusive ability. This ability is a little bit more complicated than you would believe at first glance. So let's start with the first part of her ability. She's able to gain 1 rage every time a unit attacks, not just Air Force, anytime any unit of yours attacks. And at 7 points, she's able to unleash an attack that hits all enemy units for 51.4% of her attack at max stats. However, the second part of this ability is she's actually able to increase the damage that those units receive by up to 70% if they have reduced attack. Now, this is the part that's a little bit complicated. Now, her ability specifically says if they have reduced attack. However, in the skills description, it shows 4 heroes, 1 of which decreases attack, 3 of which decrease damage. But apparently, decreasing damage can also trigger that extra 70% boost. So that is a helpful thing to know. The only problem is with these heroes, it's very difficult for her to take advantage of their abilities. So let's start off with Teresa. She's a Navy hero that's able to have a chance to reduce the attack of a single target for 2 rounds. So best case scenario, you would have 2 targets with reduced attack, and Tsuru's ability only does increased damage to the units that have decreased attack. So it doesn't work on everything. It'll damage everything, but it only does increased damage to the specific units that have reduced attack. So again, Teresa is a Navy hero, so you would have to use her with Navy units. Her ability only triggers when a Navy unit attacks, or has a chance of triggering. Next would be Akatora. Now, the problem with Akatora is if you manage to get him to 5 stars, after the very first unit attacks, his ability triggers, and he has to build up 7 rage, very similar to Tsuru. However, after the first unit attacks, he uses his ability because he starts with 7 rage, which means after that first unit attacks and his ability triggers, he'll have 0 rage, where Tsuru has 1 rage, which means her ability will trigger before Akatora's will almost every time, and likely means that she's not able to take advantage of his damage decrease. And Akatora's ability also only decreases the damage of targets hit, and only when the ability is triggered by a Navy unit. Rockfield, again, is tough because Rockfield at the very beginning of the fight drops a bomb and it reduces the attack of all units for 2 rounds, which means if you are fighting someone with an equal high rate of fire than you, you won't be able to take advantage of this because it'll take 7 rounds for Tsuru's ability to trigger long after Rockfield's expired. However, if you do have a higher high rate of fire, which means all your units are able to attack before your enemy, then Tsuru and Rockfield are an absolutely deadly combo. Not only does Rockfield hit them all at once and reduce their attack, when Tsuru hits, she'll be able to get that bonus damage because if all your units attack before the enemy does, it still counts as 1 round, which means you'd be able to do that twice. So they'd be a deadly combo if you have a high rate of fire than that. But once you get to the higher levels, usually you have a high rate of fire of level 10, so does the enemy, so there's not much you can do about that unless you're fighting next to a Tower of Weakening, which will reduce your opponent's attack speed by 10%, but that's a very specific scenario, so a little bit of trouble taking advantage of it there. And then the last hero that was mentioned was Belle. Belle is predominantly a defensive hero and is only available from the Eternal Lands. Her attack damage decrease does last for 3 rounds, so Tsuru could take advantage of that. However, Belle is an army hero, so again, just all these heroes, they're very specific circumstances on whether or not Tsuru is able to take advantage of that additional 70% damage. However, hitting all units for 51.4% damage is still something that is to be valued, especially for the Air Force heroes. Air Force heroes are a little bit mediocre when compared to Navy or Army. It seems like they're kind of slim pickings. As far as the strengths of Tsuru, now assuming you're running her as an Air Force hero as she intended, naturally she's going to be strong against the Navy. She's also going to be strong in long fights where her ability is able to trigger multiple times and hit all the enemies. As far as weaknesses, There's the army. Also, anybody who has a high rate of fire than her. Of course, that's the case with most heroes. As far as uses, she's just a regular combat hero. She doesn't have any particular specialized use, with the exception of if you have a high rate of fire than your opponent. Like I said, pairing her with Rockfield is amazing. And as I've already said a couple times, for her pairings, Rockfield would be your absolute best bet, but it's only if you have a high rate of fire. However, they can still be helpful together even if that's not the case. Rockfield hits everybody, so does Tsuru, so it's still a lot of damage that you're dealing out. You just wouldn't be able to take advantage of her extra 70%. As far as some other pairings, Dante is a good pick. Not only does he increase attack, but also HP, giving you that survivability and a little bit of extra damage for her ability. Aya could be a good pick. She's able to increase the survivability greatly of the front row, so that makes you last longer in the fight, so Tsuru's ability has a bigger chance of triggering. And then if you're short on orange heroes, Ricardo is always the good, reliable Air Force hero to use. Now, as far as the skills that you should have her equipped with, before I go over the skills, actually, let's talk about how to get her. The problem with Tsuru is she's actually not one of the free heroes. So she's one of the quote-unquote luxury heroes. So you've probably seen this chest in various events. It's the luxury hero choice chest. It lets you choose one Army, Navy, and Air Force luxury hero. So Basil, Gira, or Tsuru. Tsuru, naturally, is the Air Force one, and to get this, you have to keep an eye out for the events. So sometimes this is given away for free during events, so it's not very often, but there is a chance you can get her for free. But usually this is on sale for $20 US, or what is equivalent to the 1,280 gem pack. So likely you're probably going to have to end up paying for her, especially since the other two heroes are probably a better bet to get over Tsuru. And the problem with her not being a free hero from that luxury choice chest is that means it's also very difficult to get her exclusive skill slot item. One way you can get it is you can go to the exclusive skill store, and it's available for 20 of those exclusive skill shards. But the difficulty to be able to get her a very high level one that makes it worthwhile means that you'll probably not be running her with her exclusive skill. Instead, you'll be running her with attack increase, damage increase, rare march increase. And then as far as the fourth one, you're going to want to either use a common march size increase or a damage decrease, giving you that extra survivability to make her last longer in the fight so her ability triggers. As far as the perks, once you reach her to 5 stars, you're able to unlock perks, and I would recommend all unit attack and HP, and then Air Force attack and HP. That's all I have to say about her. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my Discord or my Twitter, link in the description below. And as always, have a fantastic day.